Be easy, quiet, and comfortable. Allow your eyes to close and take in a nice, slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, just notice how easily the body can soften, how quickly the body can let go, even without trying. And you don't need anything to do now, because there's nothing to do. Just simply listen to the sound of my voice, because the part of your mind that creates change is already listening. And as that part begins to listen even more, the body can begin to soften. And as the body softens, the mind can begin to let go. And as the mind lets go, drop in down deeper below the surface of your mind, where the changes you desire can take place, where you can release excess weight, reduce your size, and be lean, fit, and healthy. That's right, drop deeper down below the surface, dropping within, allowing space in this place where the mind can reorganize across space and time, unwinding what is no longer needed. That's right. Unwinding emotional eating, unwinding the patterns that are keeping you overweight, releasing what has already served its purpose, and without effort, beginning to draw toward you like a quiet, natural magnet, seeing it draw toward you, feeling it move toward you, allowing it and welcoming new patterns, new responses, new ways of being that align with who you are choosing to become. And you may begin to imagine now, or simply allow an image to form of yourself as you are in that natural state of alignment, where your body feels light and flexible, balanced, at ease within itself, where your relationship with nourishment feels calm, intuitive, and self-guided. And as you continue to listen, this process can begin gently, naturally. And as that shift begins, you may find it easier to keep listening. This session works in a different way because rather than forcing change through willpower and effort or trying to control anything, it creates the internal conditions where change begins on its own. And as change begins on its own, there is less effort. And as there is less effort, there is more ease. And as ease begins to emerge, the body can begin to reorganize, releasing what is no longer needed. Imagine now all the tension, the heaviness, the old patterns you've been carrying as a long silk ribbon coiled around your body, around the shoulders, your chest, your midsection, your thighs, and with each slow, gentle breath, each slow, gentle, deep breath, notice it softening, loosening, like sunlight melting it, or a warm, flowing current, gently lifting it away. With every exhale now, the ribbon unwinds, slipping off your body, opening space, lightness, flexibility, ease, and a deep sense of freedom you haven't felt before. And in that space, there is calm, balance, and room for your body to naturally align with the version of yourself you are choosing to be. Each breath, each exhale, releasing what is no longer needed, allowing new patterns to form naturally. And the more you listen, the deeper this process begins to go. And the deeper it goes, the more your system responds in exactly the right way for you. Perhaps on your next exhale, You find yourself sigh as you release from a deeper space, and as you allow your system to release, your system responds, and you may begin to notice a quiet shift, a softening, and that softening is the beginning, because the most meaningful change doesn't come from effort, it comes from alignment. And if you're still here right now, there's a strong possibility that part of that process has already begun unwinding. And you can simply allow your mind to respond to these words naturally, effortlessly. And as you do, there may already be a subtle shift beginning. A deeper part of you gently starting to surface. And as that deeper awareness begins to emerge, you may notice a peaceful state of ease. And in a moment, you may find yourself standing at the top of a beautiful, gentle staircase. You can feel your hands, see your feet, notice what you're wearing, and how light you feel. You're looking down 5 steps. And with each step, there is a natural release, not something you create, but something that happens. Step 5, beginning to descend, letting go of the surface layers. You're taking step 4, releasing behind you what is no longer needed. Taking step 3, deeper now, where the body begins to remember balance. Now you're taking step 2, a quiet awareness emerging as you go deeper down below the surface of your mind. A deeper part begins to awaken As you take step one, arriving here and now, you may notice something, a sense of what has been carried, not just physically, but emotionally. Patterns, responses, imprints, and without needing to analyze or understand, you can simply allow what has been held to be set down, like removing a weight you were never meant to carry this long. Simply set it down, and as it releases, there may be space or lightness, or simply less. And as your system continues to settle, you may begin to notice a space between impulse and response. Where there was once urgency, now there can be awareness. And within that awareness, choice returns, not forced, not controlled, but available. And your body, in its own intelligence, begins to communicate more clearly what it truly needs, and what it no longer requires. And you may find that old automatic patterns begin to slow, soften, dissolve, and what emerges instead, like a flower blooming in spring, turning towards the sun, feels calm, measured, and natural. It feels so natural now. Imagine now all and any tension, all the weight and heaviness, all the old patterns you've been carrying as a long silk ribbon coiled around your body, around your shoulders, your chest, your midsection, your thighs, and with each slow, gentle breath, notice it softening loosening like sunlight melting it, or a warm flowing current gently lifting it away. With every exhale now, the ribbon unwinds, slipping away, opening space, leaving space, lightness, ease, calm, freedom. And as the ribbon continues to unwind, you may notice more space, more lightness, more of your natural balance returning. And with every breath, it softens further. And with every exhale, it slips further away. And you may feel lighter, freer, more aligned. And as this continues, the body releases, the mind relaxes, and the version of yourself you are choosing becomes more present, more real, more natural. And the ribbon continues to unwind, softening, slipping away. Leaving only ease, balance, and alignment. And somewhere within you, there has always been a part that has been trying to help, even if its methods no longer serve you, and another part that is ready for something different. And now these parts can begin to connect. Allow them to connect, to understand one another, to align, because there is no conflict here, only outdated roles. And as those roles begin to update, there is a sense of cooperation, of internal harmony, where everything begins working in the same direction. And as this alignment deepens, something more fundamental begins to shift. Not just behavior, but identity. You may begin to notice it's becoming natural now to respond differently, to choose differently, to feel differently without effort, because this is not something you are trying to become. It is something you are remembering in your own inner intelligence, and your body already knows how to return to its natural state. And as this continues, what once felt difficult begins to feel simple. What once felt heavy begins to feel lighter. And what once required effort begins to happen on its own. And now you may find yourself standing before a mirror. And as you look, you see yourself, yet something feels different. There is ease, balance, a quiet certainty. And as you observe, you begin to recognize this is you without what you no longer need. And as you step closer to the mirror, there is no resistance, only a familiar feeling. And as you step into that reflection, it becomes natural to live from this place. And in the hours and days ahead, you may begin to notice small shifts that feel meaningful. A pause where there was once urgency. A preference for what supports you. A sense of calm in your choices. And these changes continue gently, naturally, consistently. And in a moment, I'll bring you back, keeping everything that serves you, allowing it to integrate fully, gently, effortlessly. One, becoming aware of your body and the love you have for your body. Turning up that love for your body. 2, bringing back gentle movement to your body. Perhaps you can stretch, feeling new open spaces. 3, a deeper breath, a fresh feeling. 4, feeling clear presence and grounded. 5, eyes open, eyes open. That's right, welcome back. If you've enjoyed this session, please share it with a friend or like and subscribe. Help the channel grow so it can help others. Find peace in your day and presence in your life, love and light. Until we meet again.